Okay. Hello, everyone, yogis from Holland that are joining me today. I am so happy to welcome you here on this new moon in Capricorn for January 18th. It's my first new moon circle of 2026. And officially for me, the new year doesn't kick off until we have the Lunar New Year, which is next month in February and comes alongside with another moon that I will host a moon circle to. So I'm very happy to have you tonight with me in this digital space. So what we're going to do is I've got my notes here and we're going to cover some breathing exercises, do a quick mindfulness practice, ground ourselves and meditation, and practice a moment of stillness. And that will go really quickly. And then we're going to just do some stretches to open up the chest and really stretch to work through the neck and the arms. We are all practicing tonight armchair yoga or couch yoga or bed yoga. So from wherever you are, you can just make sure you have a comfortable seat. If you want to sit in a hard chair during the stretches, that's also fine, especially if you want to get firmly into your back and set up tall and straight. If you're feeling a little bit tired, it's also okay to take this opportunity to just rest and watch and absorb. Instead of moving along in the stretches, you can just breathe along, and hopefully you can hear me breathe. So I want to hear from everybody in the chat. Give me a number between 1 and 5 of how you're feeling today, specifically after the close of this weekend, and more specifically after this close of the heavy week that we've just kind of collectively closed out. So if you guys will chat and drop that there. Okay, a 3, yes, yes. Tammy, 3, yes. Feeling you. All right, so I am at about a 4. And that's because I've just had a really good weekend together with my kids. But I took a lot of time this last month to calm myself and really focus on settling my nervous system. So it's been super helpful for me to plan in the extra time to have at home, also with my kids and during the holiday break. So I'm using the month of January to really focus on my health and installing new routines. So I'm feeling pretty energetic. I see a number 2 over here. I see a couple of 2s. And yeah, I feel that as well. That was me consistently for 10 months last year. I was operating at a 2. So I'm super happy that I'm feeling a little bit more energetic. And my personal astrology shows this too. So we're going to share a little bit about astrology, but first we're going to get into the yoga. So if I can ask everyone to take a moment, find your seat. I'm going to put my scarf around me just because I like to have a warm neck when I breathe. And I want you guys to set up as tall as you can from whatever position you're setting in. Take a drink of water or tea, whatever liquid you have to hydrate with. Okay, let's put this microphone here right next to my mouth. Close your eyes. Roll your shoulders down and back. Drop your chin to your chest and move your head side to side. Bring your head back to neutral and turn your head right to left. Bring your head back to neutral, look down, and hold your chin towards your chest. Take a big breath, and then on the exhale, open your mouth, drop your jaw, and let the air out. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale big, open the mouth, drop the jaw, exhale out. 1 more time, inhale big, and exhale, really drop and dramatically drop the chin even further down towards the neck while you pull the shoulders back. Continue through the exhale. Slowly bring the head back to neutral. Keep the eyes closed. Roll the shoulders again down and back. And drop your right ear to the right shoulder. Inhale, take a breath, come back to neutral. Exhale, left ear to the left shoulder. Sync with breath. When you're ready, inhale at your own pace. And at the top of the inhalation, just hold for a moment and feel that stretch and pull the shoulder down, back and away. And then drop the head down. Exhale, ear to shoulder. Keep pulling the opposite side down. So you're really pulling and resisting in opposition. Feel the stretch through the neck muscles, shoulder. Keep breathing. And on the next inhalation, you're going to bring the head back to neutral with the inhale. Inhale up. Exhale, drop the jaw, open the mouth, part the lips. Keep the head at neutral. Another breath. Inhale. Exhale, the left ear goes to the left shoulder. Open the mouth, part the lips. Continue to breathe. Just take 3 big breaths and pull the shoulder away from the ear. Feel the stretch in the front of the clavicle and the front of the collarbone, right? Release the jaw. Open the mouth just a little bit. Keep the eyes soft and closed if possible. On the next inhalation, we bring the head back to neutral. Take a breath. Exhale, release the mouth. Drop the tongue in the back of the mouth. Good. So from here, open the eyes and then soften the gaze. So you're staring at nothing because your cameras aren't on. Maybe you just are focusing on your inward appearance and approach. So soften the gaze with soft eyes, and then take the hands like you're holding platters and stretch them out wide. And as they're widely stretched, then inhale and bring the arms up. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Raise the shoulders and then roll the shoulders down back, and see how wide we get with the arms there. Keep them at a V. Good. Now we're going to sync this with breath. So inhale the arms up. Exhale, roll the shoulders down and back. Take the arms to a wide V. One more time. Inhale the arms up. And if the eyes close as you do this, even better, as in you're turning your attention inward. All right. So inhale the arms all the way up, but keep the shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale like you're pushing a ball underwater. Give some resistance there. Exhale. Push it all the way down towards your lap. Turn the hands over and raise the ball up like you're lifting it, and it's giving you a little bit of resistance. Inhale. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Hold at the top of the inhalation. Turn your hands over, and then exhale. Push down. So when you push and give resistance, you're actually activating the muscles in the back, in the arms, in the chest. Turn the palms up. Inhale. Raise the hands up. And when you soften the eyes, you're not looking or focusing on anything in particular. I like to do this exercise with my eyes closed because it allows me to see inward, pulling the attention in towards my body, quieting the mind. Keep breathing and just do a couple of more as slow as you can. It's a Tai Chi move, very simple, very easy. We are moving chi, moving the energy. And then from here, keep your eyes closed, relax your hands, just let your hands fall to your lap, to your knees, and then keep your shoulders rolled down and back. Keep an imaginary apple between your chin and your chest, and pull back your ears just a little bit. And as you do that, lift with the crown of the head and feel that space between the chin and the chest. Keep breathing and tune in just for a quick body scan. Feel how heavy or light your body feels in this posture. Where do you feel aches? Where do you feel pain? Where do you feel sensation? Tune in to what's happening in your senses, specifically within your body. And notice for a moment if you feel restlessness, if it's hard to focus. And as we just take this moment of silence, I'm going to ring my bells, my tingsha bells. I'm going to do this 3 times. And every time you hear the bell ring, I'd like for you to say to yourself, focus. If that's not the word you want to use, you can use something else, but it's really just a grounding exercise to get ourselves into our bodies. Start with the bells. And continue to take 3 breaths as big as you can. Release the tongue, soften the tongue in the back of the mouth. Release the jaw. Slowly open your eye and come back into your awareness. So what we've just done is cultivate a space of stillness and of silence. And that is quite very difficult to do sometimes. And it's definitely difficult to observe time for practicing. And mindfulness is something that we do have to work like a muscle and treat like an exercise and incorporate consciously into our daily routines. So what we are doing now is cultivating that stillness for our own self-care and self-awareness in order to get ourselves into our bodies. And that's why we want to stretch a little bit before we get silent. If I were to bring everybody to start a call and say, okay, everyone, sit down, let's take a moment of silence. It's really hard to do that unless you're already an advanced practitioner. So I think it's very important that we encourage each other as accountability buddies to have these moments of saying, okay, how much time are you taking throughout your day to appreciate moments of stillness, silence, solitude? This new moon, let's quickly talk about it. So I know that you guys have already read the article that I published earlier, and the themes around this new moon you can understand are Capricorn related. So this moon comes at late degrees, Capricorn, and it is here to ground us, to provide structure. It depends on, of course, what your rising sign is, what your ascendant is, and which house that falls in. For me, this is taking place in my 6th house, which is all about the house of caring for ourselves and managing our health and sticking into routine, structure. And that stuff is really hard for me. Like, even though I teach fitness and I teach yoga, it doesn't come innate. Like I really have to work at setting up routine and structure and agendas, especially when I work from home. So some of my goals for this year, especially in these coming months, last year I really hibernated and became agoraphobic. So this year it's really about getting more active with my health and integrating that into my social networks. Lots of stuff going on. And that's what I'm using this new moon for, is to solidify some of my business plans and business meetings. We are already at the 30-minute mark. So we've done the yoga, and I want to give a moment to do live Q&A for anyone that has questions around the astrology. And if you've read the article, you'll see that I didn't really sugarcoat things. I tried to keep my tone light and whimsical and still mystical, but we are in some really heavy times. And we have the eclipse season coming up next month that starts on February 17th, and it's kicked off with the Lunar New Year. It is going to be a pretty intense period in the skies. There are really some star wars happening. What's happening is that we are experiencing transits that we, first of all, haven't. It's happening at 0 degrees Aries. So it's the kickoff, it's the new beginning. So this feels like a new beginning, and all of our reckonings are here to be settled. So we see a lot of the systemic things that are not working in our communities and here on a global scale, of course. And we see the abuse, we see corruption, and we're living it, right? So it becomes super heavy to process real day events and try to maintain some level of personal sanity. So with this Mooncircle, I'm hoping to also address the mental health topic and try to keep my writings around how to stay grounded and keep to practical solutions. And that's what I've covered in the article and talked about, giving some specific examples. I will continue to cover some of the astrology, but I'm trying to do this more conversationally and then plug that on my YouTube channel and upload consistently each month in line with the new moons and the full moons. And then incorporate also into my podcast where I actually talk about predictive astrology and showing some of the trends that we see repeating from past history and tying them into modern day history and what we can look out for in terms of World War III growing, because that seems to be an important topic for everyone that's on the front of their minds at the moment. It is a precarious year for 2026. You can expect the same themes that we had in 2025, and that's because all of the outer planets are shifting and moving firmly into their new zodiac signs. And some of this happens at that 0 degrees, which is a critical degree. So it is an exciting time. We are literally living a period of history that will be talked about forever and ever and ever, probably. And it's really elemental that we focus on ourselves, focus on caring for ourselves, and focus on caring for each other. So I am happy that a few of my select good friends are here supporting me today and doing just that while I try to support myself also in building up this business during a very busy year, what's happening astrologically. So if you guys have any questions, then definitely put it into the chat when it comes to astro. Otherwise, I don't want to spend too much time talking about the astro since it's in the article. I want to talk about a more practical approach of how to work with this new moon. So this new moon, like I said, it's about looking at what you've done in the past, what's worked for you in the past, what didn't work, figuring out how you can tweak what does work and upgrade that. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can stick simply from things that you've already tried to work with. For instance, if you are wanting to start a new exercise regime, like who can be your accountability buddy that can help you stick to your goals, right? And maybe you already have some ideas of what you want to do to boost your exercise routine. Maybe you have an idea of cleaning out and clearing out clutter in your house. Like I've been working on that for the last 2 years. So what physical goals are you going to set into place? Like, is it going to be a monthly routine clear out that you do deep cleaning and clear out one closet for the next 6 months until you conquer it all? It needs to be very smart. So realistic and timing and measurable and making sure that you hit your objectives. And with working with moon cycles, I have learned that it's best to do this every 2 weeks so that you can practice your intention setting on the new moon. And then in 2 weeks' time, we have the full moon, and we can kind of check in with those themes. And what you'll see when you work with Moonology is that it becomes predictable. You'll know which month we're practicing and which themes are coming to the surface. So it becomes a bit predictive. And this is why it's really good to work with moon themes when you're goal setting. Especially the reason why I found working with the moon so helpful is when I left corporate, I no longer had anyone holding me accountable for my goal setting purposes and objectives. And of course, there was that happened at work, but I also did that privately. But I followed the structure that was set for me at work because I had a great job in corporate who had an amazing system. And I just followed that in my private life. But here, like goal setting and doing vision boards, it's all too overwhelming if I'm doing it by myself and trying to create something. So for me, I work with these themes of the new and the full moons and the transits of the moons. And that keeps me on the straight and narrow. I want to just quickly open up and ask if there's any questions or comments. Are you guys still awake? Maybe y'all just like went into sleep comas after the yoga part was done. Tammy has a question. Okay, here we go. Oh, look, now I just did that. So I'm trying out this new tech feature. And the girls on the call, these ladies, you guys are doing great. All right, so the new moon is an intention setting cycle. So this period now is where the moon is dark. It's in the sky. You can't see it. So this is the time that we rest and we get quiet and we do some reflection, but we think about what is to come. And it's not the time to celebrate. It's the time to plant seeds. So when working with the new moon, you do that when the moon is not illuminating anything. In 2 weeks' time, we have the full moon. And the moon works in 28-day cycles. So for a full cycle of a month, 28 days, you've got both a full moon and a new moon. And then the phases that happen in between with waxing and the waning, that's more detailed specific. I don't get so fancy with that. Okay. Oh, hi, Tammy. You're raising your hand because you're just letting us know that you're all there. Okay. Any other specific questions specifically about the Capricorn new moon? The Capricorn energy is super, like Capricorn is bad boss energy that's like going to go and get shit done and super structured and grounded and goal setting. Like look to your Capricorn friends. These are your friends that have birthdays between December 21st up until tomorrow. So think about who they are. Capricorn in its fall and its detriment is stubborn, it's bossy, it's like super horrible, patriarchal, strict, rigid energy that's narcissistic, that can become a bully. And Capricorn in its exalt is beautiful in that it is there to give you boundaries, structure that comes from having excellent communication skills to explaining how you feel. Capricorn gets a bad rap because it's not good to explain emotions. It's more about holding and towing the line and keeping things in place. So Capricorns are often cited for being emotionless or being a little bit hard or that's tough. You just got to do it. That kind of energy, that's Capricorn energy. So there's a little bit of that like pushing us through the gates of it into Aquarius season, which starts tomorrow. So at this late degrees, 28 degrees, it's the third decan of Capricorn that this moon is in, and it's all lined up with all the inner planets. So we've got a lot of this really dense energy. So you see some of that detrimental energy coming out where we see the bullying that's happening on a grand scale of events, right? All of this like patriarchal, just mind sucking and energy sucking vampire type like activities. That can be Capricorn in its fall. So we focus on the higher side of the archetype, which is about creating something that's long lasting, that's sustaining, that is here to help serve collective measures, but it's strong and it's not willing to bend or break. The moon stays in one sign every 2.5 days. So you've got a window. The new moon is actually happening right now. It is new in Amsterdam, passing through our local time at, I believe, 8:51 local time. So it's happening in like literally 10 minutes from now. So you have the next 2 days to think about some of your intentions. All right. So think about just like one practical goal that you might have for yourself. Like if you've got a vision board, then you're all over this. If you are someone who journals and keeps your ideas down, written down, great, you're doing that. So that's what you need to do in the next couple of days. think about your goals, not for the next year, just for the next 6 months, because lunations happen in 6 months cycles. So when we are in July, we will experience the Capricorn full moon. And then under that lunation, you will be able to look back these last 6 months and see how far you've come. And that's where the goal setting and objective building comes into play to help you build personally your own goals and objectives. I feel like I just said goals and objectives like 1,000 times. I'm nervous. Okay. So if you guys have something to write with, I want you to spend some time writing it down. We're going to do a couple of more stretchies, and then I'm going to close out the call. So it's late here, and I want everyone to go to bed, and I want you guys to remain quiet. So don't be nobody up in my DMs after this call. You can text me tomorrow because I have other things to do. Any other questions? I'm going to my chat to see. You guys are just doing great, doing great. Support team, doing great. Spirit guides, doing great. Everybody, it's happening. It's happening. All right. I'm thanking everyone with the utmost gratitude for being here. I want to close out with just a couple of stretches, but I want you guys to set up a little bit more straight and put your feet on the ground. So wherever you are, if you're on a bed and you can't reach the ground, can you move to a chair? If you're on the couch, just sit at the very edge of it or the edge of your chair. And then you've got these two pointy bones that are coming out of if you reach down there and feel your sitting bones, there are these two pointy bones. They're the top of your femur bones, but they're embedded into your hips. So it's the ball and socket joint. And you want to keep your feet hip distance apart, feet wide apart, knees wide apart. And then let your bellies just hang and push yourself forward in your chair. And when you do that, you're opening up your hips. Turn your knees outwards and let your belly hang. And then we're going to reverse that by rolling and tucking the body in. So I'm going to stand up here and show you guys what I'm doing with my body while I stand and take off my scarf. When you sit on the edge of a chair, your back normally is straight. When you push forward, your back and your hips flex. When you tuck underneath, all of this comes in and pulls your core in. So the flexion of having the back rounded here and then the counter reaction of it, pulling that in, is what you want to do, but do that seated in your stool. And close your eyes for a moment. And then it's just a cat-cow tuck. So it's like a yoga pose when we're on all fours and we're rounding our back and we're pushing ourselves forward. So it's just really a moment to stretch the spine, rounding and forwarding. Then we're going to get super fancy with one more thing. So come back to neutral and then open with the right arm and look out behind you with the right fingers. Look out towards the right fingers. And then come back to neutral. Take a breath. Inhale. Raise this arm. Stretch it out. Exhale. Inhale back. We do it 2 more times because we're twisted. It feels good. Arms come up. Exhale. Inhale. Arms come up all the way up. Then drop the arm down to the knees, to the thighs. Exhale. Inhale the other hand and exhale. You can make that arm as long and wide as you want to go. If you've got stiffness, it doesn't feel good to go wide, then just keep the arm 90 degree. Yeah. And reduce the range of motion. Last time. Inhale, right arm goes back, stretch, look, stretch the neck, bend, feel the spinal twist, and then finish the breath, cycle the breath, come back to neutral. One last time, inhale on the left, exhale, open, look behind you, inhale the arm up, around to the front, exhale, and then go back into your seated position. Bring your hands together and rub your palms together. Generate some fire, lots of friction. We're going to have lots of friction and fire this year. And once your palms feel super warm and hot, drop your eyes into your palms and press. Take a breath, inhale, exhale. Okay. Then bring your hands over your heart and thank yourself for being here today. Thanking yourself for giving yourself a moment of self-care. Self. It is about self. And I'm wishing you a good week ahead. I'll see and hear from you all soon. Namaste. Okay, now how do I stop this? Oh yeah, stop recording.